Hello everyone, my name's Frank and I'm glad that you're here. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to a tool that I think you are going to really like. A lot of times when I'm presenting to an audience or preparing lessons for my class, I'll take a sequential approach to the material at hand. So for example, if I have a PowerPoint slide deck, I'll have one slide following the other and each slide builds upon the previous slides presented. This is a tried and true method of teaching, and a lot of times when I want to guide an audience through a specific path, it makes a lot of sense. But have you ever gone to a museum or an art gallery with a group of students, or even with your friends? Generally speaking, you will not go sequentially through that environment. You may go from room to room or topic to topic, but once you're in one of the rooms for the art gallery, you'll notice that students break up and go to different paintings in different orders. And that's because as humans, we really do want to interact with our environments and have a little bit of control over what we see next and where we go next. Well, the tool I'm talking about is called ThingLink, and it's a fantastic tool that's going to allow us to set the stage, either through an image or a video, and we're going to be able to put tags all over that image or video that a student can then go and explore in the order that they want to, in the way that they want to. Now we can create structure around those environments, but we can also allow for that interactivity and that little bit of self-efficacy where the student takes control of their journey. It's a really neat tool. Let's go have a look. Well, I hope you're excited because this is a great tool. I think you're going to really like it. Let's go to www.ThingLink.com. and this will bring us to their main website. Now you'll notice I'm already logged in because I already have an account. Let me just log out quickly. So if you go to their main website, you'll notice that I'm in their EDU website, and they have solutions for business, e-learning, and they're very, very generous to the educational market. So when I log in, I'm actually paying $35 a year for myself and 60 students. So I'm going to log in using my account. And you'll notice that I have a demo account. I've just put a bunch of classrooms in there. And I have my outdoor adventure folder that I've created for this one here. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a basic ThingLink. There's a lot more that we can do. So if you are interested, comment down below if you want to see more. But for now, I'm just going to create the basic one, and that'll help you follow along. So you'll notice that I already have one in here. I've got a West Coast Trail map that I created. And you'll notice that it's got 5 different markers in there. It's had 5 views and it's got 4 different scenes in there. I'm going to create a brand new one. So let's go ahead and create. You'll notice I can search for media if I have a bunch in there. I can sort, I can arrange things, I can create new folders. Let's go ahead and just create a brand new one. So when I create a brand new one, the first thing it's going to say is, okay, let's load up some media. So I'm going to grab this satellite map of the West Coast Trail area, which is from Port Renfrew on Vancouver Island to Bamfield. And then I'm going to open this up. And you'll notice I have my image on here. And what I want to do is I want to go in and I want to start editing this. So I'm going to hit the little edit button. And now this is really the power of ThingLink. I tag things. So I'm going to start tagging along this map or this image. So think of it this way. If I had a picture of a room, and in that room I had a whole bunch of different objects, I could tag each of those objects and provide a different type of media for each of those objects. In this case, we're doing a map and we're doing a hike. So let's go ahead and tag. And the first thing I'm going to do is choose one of these 4 areas. I can add text and media. I could add a text label, I could add content from another website, and I could even create a tour. And think of the tour as if I had a museum with multiple rooms. I could have one image of the first room with everything tagged, and then I could have them go to the second room with everything tagged. So you can add some structure, but then allow unstructured exploration of each of those rooms or ThingLinks. So if I go in here, I'm going to add a text label, the simplest thing to add. I can change the icon, and don't worry, it's not going to just be these black and white icons. If I click the icon, I get some color choices. So let's say I'm going to make this an information icon, and I'm going to say West Coast Trail, and we'll call it 2022 is when my outdoor club is going there. So I say I'm done, but this isn't really where I want it to be. That's okay. I'll drag it down to where I want it to be. And when I hover, it'll give me a preview of what that will look like once I finish with this ThingLink. I'm going to add some more tags. Let's go and add some text and media. So the way I like to do this is I actually don't like to work in this top half. I like to start with my image or my video. So I'm going to go and add some images here, and this will be the start of our hike. And let's say, for example, I want to have some equipment here. So I'm going to say, let's go ahead and add this image of a backpacker. And it's going to add that image in here. It'll preview it in a moment. And then I can go in and I can add a title. So there it is, previewed in there. And I could add in a title here, and I'll say, we will be hiking. So we're going to be hiking. And then underneath the description, I can add quite a bit of description in here. So for example, it could be an entire description of what the hike is all about, the history of the hike. In fact, I could even go up to something like the, Parks Canada up here, and maybe I'll just grab this text here from the internet, pop back over here, and that will be my description here. So we have some information here about the hike. I can, if I want, add a button here. So if I go to this URL, I'll go up to the West Coast Trail from Parks Canada, and I'll just copy this URL here for Parks Canada, come back here and paste that in. So let's paste that in, and notice it creates a button. And that button's going to go to Parks Canada, governmentofcanada.ca, but they might not know what this is. So I'll just go in and add button text in there, and I'll call this Parks Canada info site. And now when they click on it, it'll take them to that website. So that's a nice little pop-out tile that I've created very quickly. And now let's move that to Port Renfrew, because that's where the hike starts. Oh, you know what? I don't like that icon. No problem. Just go back into it. We'll change the icon to the home base, little green home base, and now it's a little green home base. And I want people to be able to see that it's Port Renfrew, so I'll just move it a little bit so that we can see Port Renfrew. I'm going to pop back in and add some more. That was a lot of fun. So I'm going to go in and add, let's add a video. So I'll go in. Once again, I always like to start with the image or video. So I'm going to go in there, and one of the things we're really excited about on this hike is we're going to be able to see a sunset. So let's find that. I know somewhere, there it is. I have a video of a sunset. So you are restricted on the size of the video that you can upload. However, the trick to get around there is instead of uploading a full video that you've taken, you can actually put a description and then link to a YouTube video. I'll show you that in a moment. So you can add multiple videos, but here I'll say sunsets are mandatory. Although I will say, if you've ever hiked the West Coast Trail, sometimes you see rainbows instead of sunsets because there's a lot of rain. So you can go in there and say, we can say we will see sunsets because we check the weather forecast. Okay, and we could upload audio here. So I could have some audio where I narrate it, saying that, hopefully we'll see some sunsets, everyone. Sometimes it rains. So we can go in there, and again, we'll change the icon. And in this one here, we'll say, well, that would be a great place to take a nice picture of a sunset. And we're going to see the sunsets right about here, because we're going to camp on the beach when we do this. So let's go ahead and do some more. Let's go in and add some content from a website. So you can see here, I'll put in a website. In this case here, maybe I'll go and grab my hiking safety tips. It's a big long URL, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Come back to my edit pane here. I'm just going to pop in and paste it in. So it's going to put that in there, and you'll see that it'll link out to this website here. And you'll notice that here you have to have the actual code, and so the URL is not going to work here. So if I go in here, there's no URL, right? Refuse to connect. So you have to be a little bit careful when you're adding this in. So let's instead go to this nice URL where we can go into our YouTube URL, and we can come in here, and instead of that, we'll just paste this one in. So now we'll paste that, and notice it gives me this nice Parks Canada preparation guide. So this here is a little bit of a gotcha. It's a little bit tricky, and we'll put this as a play button. It's YouTube, so it has to be red and white. So now we'll say, okay, that's going to be part of our preparation. So make sure we put that at the beginning of the hike, and that's going to pop out this video when anybody clicks it. Pretty cool. Okay, but let's go ahead and say, but I do want a URL to get somebody there. Well, you could go in, instead of doing it as content from a website, you can just add text and media. And then when you add text and media, if I grab that 10 hiking tips, we'll grab that, copy that in, and we'll paste that guy in there, paste it in. And then what we can do is, it's hiking gear lab. I don't like that. So we'll say safety for hiking. And you know what? We should probably put a little image in there just to make sure it looks a little bit nicer. So we'll go in there and we'll grab an outdoor photo and we'll make it, you know, a tent. So some safety for hiking, and you know, we'll put in a title there. Safety tutorial. And we'll put in some information. Let's all be safe because a rescue is hard. So it is a hard hike if you don't do this if you're an amateur. So if we go in there, and we can add more photos, so we can have a little bit of a slideshow. So I can add multiple photos into this one here. So we'll put in, maybe go into another photo of equipment, and we have the tent in there already. So let's put in, one of the things that's very important with safety is making sure that you purify your water. So we have that in there. Once again, change the icon and look for a good icon for safety. So you can spend a lot of time with the icons. You can also upload an icon if you have your own custom icon. So you can go in and upload any icon that you might have, and then you just go in and choose the icon. Now, it was an icon, so I'm just going to use this little safety one, and let's actually change the color of that just to get some variety here. We'll make it a white with a red X, and we'll put, you know, safety. Probably want that at the beginning too, but you can cluster them around where it makes the most sense for you. So I've shown you a few things. I've shown you the text one, shown you how we can embed a video of our own, right? So we can see our own video in there. I've shown you how we can put in a website if we don't have a website that cooperates like YouTube and allows us to embed it. We can go in and we can put in a embed code from YouTube, play it right within that. So you can see all sorts of cool stuff there. And we can go in and we can put in again, a link and an image to the start of our hike. So as I start building this up, this becomes really nice. And I can go into my settings and start modifying this a little bit. So first of all, maybe I don't want the ThingLink down here, so I want to turn that one off. And then notice right now that each of these icons is pulsing. And that's just to get the student's attention. But maybe you don't want that pulsing. You're going to have a lot on here. If you get a whole bunch on here and they're all pulsing, it looks a bit like a Christmas tree. So we're going to disable that animation because we only, you know, with this number of links, I might let them pulse, but we'll go and do that. And then you can also change your color scheme. I'm going to go with a blue and white color scheme. That's the color scheme I'm using for my class. And then I can upload an audio that plays through the entire presentation. That's really nice if you have some background music just to get it all exciting. So we'll say done with that. So now I'm really happy. I've got a great ThingLink here. It's ready to go. What can I do with it? Well, up top here, there's a few things I can do. One of the things that I do right away is I go into this privacy setting. And by default, it's available to members of my organization and they have to sign in. That goes into how many students you have. So I have 60 students. I could create an account for each of them and then they could use that redemption code, or they could use a link in order to sign up. I could make it available to the whole wide world. Nobody needs to sign in. Or I can make it unlisted, which means that in order to sign in, you have to have a link. And that's the one that I tend to use the most. And then in terms, you can make it just private to you if you want to, you know, work with it, collaborate and such. So I'm going to save it as an unlisted, and then I'm going to be able to now share that out. So you'll notice I can do some management here. I can do things like rename, move it to a folder. It is cool that you can get statistics on this. So you can see whether students are viewing it. Now this one has very little because I've just played around with it a bit, but you can see that there are statistics available for it. I can go in and clone it to make a copy. So if I want to make some other links in there, I can generate a report on here. Oh, that's actually if it's bad, so I'm not going to report myself. I can replace the background. This is for statistics. This is if it's bad. Okay, so you can go in there, you can place the background if you want. You can download it, so you can have it there. You can, of course, trash it. But the big share button is the one that we want to use. So underneath here, I can get embed code. So if I want to put it on my classroom website, you can do that. Very cool. I can share the link. Now, if I share the link, I can also hide the ThingLink interface. So that way it's just going to be the whole page for the students. They won't see the interface around it. And then you can also even publish it to social. Now, for the astute amongst you, you'll notice that you can publish it directly to Teams. You can publish it directly to Google Classroom because there is an app for them that you can add in, plus all the other social networks. If you're interested, comment down below. I'm happy to make more videos on ThingLink where I go in and I show you how to manage it as an instructor. But for now, I just wanted to show you how to make one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to grab the link here and copy it. So let's see what that looks like when I give that to a student. So if I send it to them and they click on the link, paste it in, or click on the link and it'll automatically go for them. Here we go. This is what they'll see. And they'll say, oh, well, what's this all about? What's this button here? It's a West Coast. Oh, I can't wait to go on that trip. I've been looking forward to that. And oh, what's happening here? And oh, we're going to see sunsets. I can't wait. I'm getting super excited. And what's this down here? Oh, there's a safety tutorial. Let me go and take that safety tutorial. Oh, yeah, okay, that's really important that I do this safety tutorial. Now, if they come back, you'll notice that they can come back to it as well, right? So we go in here and then they can say, oh, what's this all about? Oh, wow, there's a Parks Canada site. Oh, it's the hike of a lifetime. It's amazing, right? Beautiful, and there's all sorts of things. Oh, there's that video. Well, they embedded the video there, and then if you go back to ThingLink, you'll notice that I embedded the video here as well. So we go in here, and we can see the YouTube video in here. They can do all the YouTube-y things from there. One of the things that's nice about the YouTube video, this one here doesn't have any advertising on it, I believe, but it does not put the advertising on there. So that's one of the things with YouTube video that I believe it strips off the advertising. I'd have to play with that a little more. So we go in there and there's my ThingLink. Well, what did you think of that tool? It's a really useful way of allowing students to have a little bit more control of their own learning, and that can only benefit them in becoming more engaged and interested in what it is that we're trying to present. So I hope you'll take a look at the tool, and I hope that this video was useful to you. If it was, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell the whole bunch, and you can see some other videos on the channel here as well. Appreciate your watching. See you in the next video.